But first, Fox Carolina is committed to you, and with many schools in the area heading back to school this week, we know parents and students have a lot of questions.
And we are committed to getting you those answers. That's why we got in touch with the largest school district in the state. They are heading back to school tomorrow. We're joined by Tim Waller with Greenville County Schools. Tim, I know you're extremely busy. Thanks so much for taking some time out on this back to school eve for Greenville County. And I'll tell you, I'll just start out with what's happening right now. We are seeing school districts across our area dropping like flies as far as football teams go with these positive COVID-19 cases. You know, I think this just adds more anxiety to parents and kids heading back to school, especially with you guys with so many students heading back tomorrow.
There's a lot of anxiety going around, Cody and Victoria. We fully expect to see some COVID positive cases with students and staff. We also expect to see, as a result of that, a lot of quarantining going on. But right now, until we actually get into school, we see what happens. We see if our safety protocols are working. We're going to try to distance when possible. We're going to encourage mask use, even though we can't require it. We're going to hope for the best in the beginning, and then we're going to just deal with it from there.
And we have a lot of talk about those different rules, those provisos we've been talking about, going over. How do they affect the biggest school district in the state? How will they affect you here in Greenville?
Well, these provisos passed by the legislature and really rubber stamped by the governor is going to affect all public school districts in the same way. We cannot require mask usage in schools, even though health experts with South Carolina DHEC say people inside buildings should wear masks. We're limited on the number of e-learning days that we have to 5, and keep in mind, as a comparison, how many e-learning days we had last year. We are limited on how many students we can offer virtual instruction to 5% of the student population. In our case, that's 3,600 students roughly. Keeping in mind last year we had 23,000 students taking full-time virtual. And in a joint resolution, the Senate and the House in South Carolina now require public school districts to offer 5-day-a-week full-time instruction. So our options are very limited when it comes to our ability to protect the health and safety of students and staff, but we're going to do the best we can.
So, Tim, at some point, you guys are a huge district. You have a lot of kids. If they can't wear masks, like you said, there's going to be COVID cases. Is there a point that you guys are prepared to throw a red flag in and say, look, we either have to wear masks in school or we're going to have to go virtual more than 5 days? Is there a point where you guys will look at this and be at the point where you're going to have to do one or the other to keep this from spreading in these classrooms?
Yeah, I mean, that's an excellent hypothetical, and everybody's asking that question, Cody. I would just say that we're going to look at every avenue that we can before we finally, throw up the surrender flag and ask the governor to go back on some of these restrictions that they've put down. You might remember I told Carrie Weimer a little bit earlier today, one thing we're looking at is if we have to go virtual, maybe doing it at a school that's seeing the spike in COVID cases and having a particular school go virtual instead of the whole district at one time. Do it on a school-by-school basis. See if that works. But it's hard to say what's going to happen until it actually happens. But we're really ready for just about every scenario.
And I do want to ask you, Tim, has the district been in touch directly with Governor McMaster's office, asking these questions or some sort of back and forth? Or do you have a specific message to the governor?
Well, we don't communicate back and forth with the governor's office per se. Our point of contact at the state level is the State Department of Education, Molly Spearman, who communicates with Governor McMaster. I would say my message to the governor is listen to what your own state health authority is telling you. And they're saying that mask usage indoors with large numbers of people is the only way to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. I get this whole leave it up to the parent thing. You know, we don't want government co-parenting our students. But when health officials say the only way to stop the spread of COVID-19 is for everyone to mask up, we need to mask up. And the governor should listen to that.
And Tim, we talk a lot about the students. How is staffing looking right now with any possible COVID cases now? Where are you guys at on numbers and with staffing right now to make sure these kids, get the education they need?
I don't know what the latest COVID-19 number is, Cody. We're looking pretty good on staffing. We were, and this really has nothing to do with COVID-19, but we were down a number of teachers. Fewer people are actually getting into the teaching profession. So this is a problem that predates COVID-19. We're doing well on the hiring process with teachers. We still need bus drivers. We need food and nutrition services workers. We need custodians right now, but we're doing pretty good. And really, it takes a lot of people, not just teachers, to run a school system. So we feel good going into the new school year.
Well, I'm sure this is not going to be our last chat.
No.
We wish you good luck tomorrow. It's going to be a very busy day for you, sir. So good luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Tim.
you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And we appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you.
And of course, you can watch this interview again if you missed it. We're actually streaming this on our Facebook page. You can go back there and watch it there. We'll have it inside our free Fox Carolina News app. And of course, we will be in Greenville County following all of this on the morning news starting at 4:30. So again, tomorrow, it's going to be a big test for Greenville County and the moving forward on this too, watching as we get used to the new norm in these public schools.